The sumo barbell deadlift is the next end goal when it comes to straight bar deadlifting. The conventional and the sumo are both considered kind of the more advanced versions. But the sumo and the conventional are going to vary a little bit differently. One of the major differences is that from a setup standpoint, we are going back to a wider stance, and therefore the hands are inside of the legs. That's going to change how this movement looks a little bit. We're still going to set our feet up so that the little bit of space between the shin and the bar. So we positioned over the instep, give or take. And the toes are naturally going to have probably a little bit more outward angle than when we had our closer stance. I'm going to brace that core and think about pushing that butt back. And my ideal position will be where I can maintain those 3 points of contact in my feet. And give or take, we'll start with a vertical shin. Now if you're more advanced, you might find different variations in this position. But if it's your first time doing it, let's work for about a vertical shin is going to be a nice spot for you. Now you'll see that my hands are straight down from my shoulders, and they're going to be in that position inside my legs. Now also because of that, the angle of my body is going to change. So with this wider stance, I'm going to have a much more upright posture as I make my way down into my deadlift. That's going to change how the legs are challenged in this movement. It's going to make your core a little bit less of a contributing factor here. Still need the strength to stabilize, but we're going to get a whole lot more pushing out of the legs. We're still using the same cues of setting that armpit on top of that bar to determine where my hips are going to be in this position. And I'm going to go back to the cue of spreading the floor with this wider stance. Create my grip, lock those lats in with those shoulders down, spread the floor, and at the top I have those glutes flexed, quads flexed, and my body is perfectly stacked upright. Pushing that butt out of the way, hips opening to create space for that bar to come down. As with our other deadlifts, if your mobility doesn't allow you to get into that deeper range of motion, you're welcome to add blocks to elevate the bar. But the sumo, compared to our other variations of the deadlift, already create more space in the hips, and a lot of times we can get into deeper positions. So try it as is and then adjust accordingly.